Welcome to Women Talk. I'm Joyce. It's been said that women talk about everything, anything, anytime, and anywhere. You know, two women were waiting for their cars to be serviced. They began an informal conversation detailing why they were there. By the time the representative announced to one of them that their car was ready, they had shared the make and model of the car, the cost, who purchased the car during a sales promotion, why they purchased the car. Besides themselves, who would be driving the car, their living situations, and what they would be doing if they weren't sitting and waiting for their cars to be serviced. Welcome to Women Talk. Today's guests have much to share and a lot of interesting information they're going to give us. So today I have Tawana and Vicky, and I'm going to allow these ladies to tell us a little about themselves. Tawana.
Hi, I'm Tawana. I am actually native to Piscataway. Went to M.L. King Elementary, then Kanakamak, and then on to Piscataway High School. And now I live in Washington State as life would have it, but I have such wonderful memories of living in this town.
Vicky.
Hi, I'm Vicky. I grew up in Manalapan, New Jersey. I moved to Metuchen, New Jersey when I was how old? 22? Now I'm living in Metuchen still with my husband, Stephen, and my two kids. I have an 11-year-old son named Lucas and a 6-year-old daughter named Devin. And we're just living life in Metuchen.
Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about what our topic is today, ladies. The topic is fashion nightmares and makeup. You know, fashion is a form of self-expression. It's everywhere. Pink or blue hair, half-shaved heads, long hair, long lashes. Tights have become the fashion of the day. They wear them in the daytime, they wear them casually, they wear them for 5 o'clock cocktails, they wear them for the evenings. And then there's the makeup that goes with it. Some people wear no makeup, loads of makeup. Some people are chic, they want to be casual, they just want to be plain comfortable, all in the name of fashion. So, let's talk about fashion nightmare, because I have one. I was once invited to a wedding. And generally at weddings, it's a pretty formal outfit. And I had my hair done, and I was wearing a nice cocktail dress. And when I arrived at the wedding, everybody was in jeans and shorts. So I attended the actual service. But when it was over, I got the heck out of there because I felt uncomfortable and I clearly wasn't going to go to a reception while everybody was looking as casual. That is my fashion nightmare, my personal fashion nightmare. Do you have any?
So I think now in the day of skims and contouring and body sucking, I went out and purchased to be part of the trend. And unfortunately, I realized that halfway through the day, I couldn't breathe. And I couldn't breathe because I was put these things on that sucked me and held me so tight. I mean, I looked fabulous, but I was sucked and held so tightly that I could barely breathe. And I remember going into the bathroom and feeling such a sigh of relief.
Did you take it off?
I took it off and I ran to my car because the buttons didn't quite hold the way they were when I had the items on. So it was at your own risk. I think these body contour, Spanx, Skims, I literally say it's at your own risk, and you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And I think the older I get, the more I simply say, I don't care. Take me as I am. I want to breathe. I want to live.
That's today's new age, I think, that people just decide to do their own thing. And that's why folks can wear the pink or the blue hair, which always shocked me. And then I learned that some people do it with Kool-Aid, and they just take a package of Kool-Aid, put it in a little water, and they color their hair. So that's a new thing for me, because all I ever knew about was if you're going to do your hair, you dyed it. Okay, the color that you wanted, or you use the rinses. The henna. That's right, or henna. But this new Kool-Aid phase, and I even see it on young children with the Kool-Aid spiked hair, okay? And I'm always amazed at the colors that they come out with. I even saw purple. How scary. But anyway, that's what happens today. And so those are the fashion nightmares that I see. Vicki, do you have any?
I have a makeup nightmare.
Okay, let's hear it.
So everybody wants their makeup to stay on. We both are makeup artists, right? All customers always want their makeup to stay on. So one day I was at work and I was rushing that morning, and you know, there's eyeliners that stay on and there's eyeliners that are not really meant to stay on.
Okay.
So that are more smudged. I put on the wrong eyeliner because I was in a rush and I was at work and somebody wanted an eyeliner that does not move. And I said, my eyeliner doesn't move. This is the one I'm using. I kept saying it a million times. Look at mine. Look at mine. She just kept looking at me. And I saw one of my coworkers kind of laughing in the corner. She did not buy the eyeliner. And when I walked away, my coworker said, go look in the mirror. And I had eyeliner down. So that was extremely embarrassing. And that was my makeup nightmare as a makeup artist. So
we all have to learn somewhere.
That's right. And I forgot to say to the audience, TV audience, that both Tawana and Vicki are makeup artists. How long have you guys been doing makeup?
Oh God, how long, Tawana?
Probably over 20 years.
Yes.
I want to say that was around the time that we met actually doing makeup. And we worked on opposite sides. We actually started out in a mall at a, I don't know if I could say the store.
Oh.
But we met each other through working with each other, having healthy competition before we decided that we actually liked each other. We were both managers, but we loved doing makeup.
Yes.
And to watch the makeup trends change over the years, even from what we're doing, and then even as we've aged, you know, I can't do my face the way I did when I was in my 20s because my cheeks aren't in the same place, my eyes aren't in the same, you know, they got a little heavy and hooded. So you even have to change with the times, which sometimes when you're stubborn and you're stuck in your ways, it's difficult. Well, and we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have YouTube. So we had to figure this out by ourselves. It's all trial and error. And sometimes the makeup companies, they would give you a ton of stuff and you kind of had to figure it out.
Yes.
Oh.
Which was part of the creativity, I think, of us being artists.
I do think we learned a lot that way. Sometimes you have to mess people up to learn.
This is true.
Oh my God.
I hate to say it. All those little girls that used to come into the malls with those little tight, fresh faces, we'd be like, sit down, sit down, sit down. We'll put makeup on you. Because we had to figure out how did the new products work. Does this work with that? Does this pill? Is this too oily? Is it too heavy? Is it too thick? Is the eyeliner going to run? We had to really work through that because now, you know, you've got your TikTok and your YouTube and you can figure out how to do pretty much anything without having any type of training. Whereas for us, it was really, and we would share stories.
Yes.
Oh, you know, this brand has a really good liner. I don't know why everybody likes this brand just because it's a big name and they've got great advertising doesn't make it great. And we were really able to share stories, even doing makeup for sets or Fashion Week or television, being able to figure out what's reflective, what's good, what's not, what's trending. Because I think...
And for us, the only way to know that was to do it. It's different now.
It's very different.
So did you guys do brows? Because I've seen some weird brows.
We've done everything.
Okay. So folks want to have these brows shaped in V's and shaped in arches and...
I think the scariest thing is when someone wants you to do their brows and you go to take off their makeup and you realize you took off their whole entire brow because they shaved it.
Yes, it is. It's the scariest.
That was scary because now you have to start from a base of not only where you think the proper placement of how to do a brow, but that's not how they're always ready for their brow to be done.
Right.
Are you telling me that there are brows that you can take off?
They don't have any brows.
They'll shave them. Some people will shave their brows due from over plucking, and her and I have donated our time and worked with some cancer patients that
Medical
have
condition.
none.
Right.
So we've had to show them how to kind of draw their brow
And you have to
on
look
and
at their
make it natural.
expressions. You have to look at a lot in order to.
Interesting. And so what about this cheek thing? Because I've
Contour?
seen some people, what do you call it?
Contouring?
Okay, call it whatever you like. I've seen people with this cheek thing going all the way up here. Some of them have it all the way down.
Do you want to talk about contour?
Contour is a tricky thing because contour was always amazing, but it was for television, theater, and then it became mainstream. And what we have to explain to customers a lot is if you really do a contour, you're going to look crazy walking around because contouring is colors, dark and light. Really, right?
And it's a process. So when you're sitting there and you see us painting these dark colors on you, and you're like, you have to trust the process.
And you have to explain to the person to really make your cheekbones as high up here. You can't walk around like that because people that come off of television and they're walking around and they will have black and white and things all over their face.
You said something that just caught my attention. Make your cheekbones come higher.
Yes.
I can change your whole face.
Nose
Interesting.
smaller.
Yes.
What you see on TV is not
Yes.
very real all the time, how people look.
We can contour your nose to make the bridge of your nose very small, and it's how you place the makeup to make you look like a button nose. If you feel like you have too much here, you contour all around the chin area, and I can make you almost look like you have no chin.
But you can't walk around like that outside.
And you can't hug people because you've got all this makeup on. You know, people will try to this is why everybody gives air kisses, because we really don't want you to touch our faces because we've got a lot going on.
Demonstrate that air kiss again.
Mwah, mwah, and that's what we do.
Okay. So have anybody ever gone out in public to any function and had on two different shoes?
How about bringing two different pairs of shoes? I mean, we would all start off, I think, very
I've done that a lot.
fabulously with our heels, and then very unfabulously at the end of the night or the day in the
Done that
second
many
pair of
times.
shoes that we purchased. So it was, I think that's also a myth that everyone's like, oh, buy this particular shoe by this designer. It's so comfortable and it's a heel. A heel is a heel. And if you stand in it for 8 hours, I don't care how fabulous you think you are, your feet are going to start talking to you at some point.
Or you're lying.
Or you're lying.
So that's when I see a makeup nightmare on television. Have you ever seen the police shows and the police female officers have on a heel?
Wow.
And you start wondering, how are they running? How are they catching people? And it's not reality.
Here's something even funnier. When the Oscars come out, these magazines always have these things where they'll show the stars looking beautiful.
Yeah.
And then they show their feet. They have no manicures. They have bunions like you wouldn't believe and corns, and their feet are sitting on top of each other. But no one talks about, because they just see the beauty of this.
Who's gonna talk about my bunions?
No one talks about their feet. Now you would think that
They're
because
too worried about their feet.
celebrity, why would you wear open-toed shoes? And the real matter is that is a sign that your feet have been shoved and pushed into shoes.
Because they're sample
that
sizes.
hurt. And when you do fashion shows, they don't care what size feet the models are. They get a pair of shoes, and you can be a size 9, and they give you a pair of 8 shoes, and you better walk like it's your size.
Or it's mostly like a size 5 and you're a 10, and you have to shove your
You
foot
have to
in
shove
there.
your foot in there and do the best you can. So it is,
Sample
you
size.
see them coming in there, they've got this game face on as they walk out there. And then they come back and they're like,
They're crying.
and sometimes we're trying to snatch the shoes off of them because it hurts. So sometimes I think a lot of things beauty is a facade. I think
100%.
And then the biggest takeaway is be comfortable with who you are.
Exactly. And that's what we try to
That's
always-
what's beautiful.
And I think that's the trend today, and that's why tights have become so, I can't stand
I
them.
think they're leggings.
That's why leggings, whatever,
Pivot,
leggings.
just leggings.
They have become
leggings.
so, I call them tights, leggings. What is the other term for them?
Joggers.
Joggers. They are so popular.
So
People wear them everywhere. And
I think that became even more of a trend from COVID, that everybody wanted to
More
be
comfortable.
so comfortable. People were working from home more, so it was more widely
Yes.
acceptable.
that's true.
And then people gained a little weight in COVID, so it just became.
And the pants,
You have
they,
to whisper
they
about
give
gaining the
us-
weight.
I don't like talking about it.
You know, in the cosmetics industry, in fashion, it's so much about face and body. Unfortunately, it's one of the most shallow industries ever, that you are taught to whisper about your weight. So it's nice to see even size inclusivity
Yeah.
Yes.
happening as you look, because I think when we were younger, all you saw were the Kate Mosses or the really
Right.
thin models all the time showcasing anything, and you never saw what we would say is a real woman that we would help
Well,
on a
thank God
daily
it's
basis.
different now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because young people love to express themselves.
Yes.
And I
I
think that's really what the name of the game is, express myself.
Yes.
And I once went to work with 2 different pair of shoes. I very funny. And I was a director at the time, and I actually walked into, oh gosh, I think about it, walked into my office, and the secretary said, "Oh my gosh, did you have a problem this morning?" And I go, "No, why?" And she goes, "Because you've got on 2 different pair of shoes." They were 2 different colors.
So I'm going to help you here,
could've been a
because
trendsetter.
one of the things my mother had, which is what they talk about now in fashion, is having a capsule wardrobe. You definitely had in your closet a series of suits.
That's right.
Different colors, shoes. And sometimes if that one pair of shoes were comfortable,
your feet in.
bought a second pair because it was comfortable.
No,
So
I got up in the morning and I put my foot in one shoe and I put my foot in the other, and I ran out the door, and they were both comfortable. They were the right foot and the left foot, and I went on about my business until she said that. And the most embarrassing thing is I didn't have another pair to put on at work. I didn't have another pair. So I had to keep my feet tucked under chairs so nobody would see them, okay? So in any meeting I went to, I made sure I got there early that day and made sure I could put my foot up under a chair or up under the table so that nobody would be looking down and nobody else would say, "Ooh, what's going on?" Okay? So very interesting, because now I see on television when they are on talk shows, they will talk about the shoes.
Oh yeah, Wendy
Yes.
Williams used to
Yes.
have
That's a
shoe
new
cam.
thing.
The shoe
Yeah,
cam, yep.
they will now talk about the shoes and focusing on what somebody's wearing on their feet. So I guess people who have the bunion problem and all the other issues we talk about must wear the boots, because that's another thing that I see.
Yes.
Folks will wear is the ankle boot or the full boot. And so now you're making me think about what's their foot
Or
problem.
just a closed-toe shoe, so you
Yeah,
can't see
Yes.
so
it.
you can't see anything. That's very interesting. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I mean, even in fashion, in cosmetics, sometimes, especially when you do extreme makeup, you'll tape. There's such a thing
Yes.
called the face tape. And you can tape someone and put makeup over it so they'll look like they have
Or a
an
high
instant
ponytail.
an instant facelift. And the image that we're portraying, even when you see catalogs with clothing, you don't realize that in the back, to make that shirt look better, they've clipped it so that it
Yes.
shows one way. And there are so many techniques
Tricks.
that could be used and tricks that it's,
Well, I guess when people tape themselves, as you say,
Yeah.
that's like a facelift.
it is.
Yes. Or the very high
It is.
ponytail pulling your hair up really tight.
Yeah. And some celebrities don't have
Buns.
time to get the surgery and the recovery, because if they're doing a press junket or they have so much to do, that's a quick and easy solution. That's why sometimes when you see them in person, you're like, is that her? Because you don't realize the image they put out looks completely different than when they take off all that makeup. I think when the
100%.
Kardashian trend came out,
Yes.
and everybody goes, I want to look natural, but I want to look like Kim Kardashian.
I always said, you know how
Vicky's
much
seen her
Yes.
in person. She's seen a lot of them, and she's like, Tawana, they've got like this much makeup, you know.
I always say, do you know how much makeup she has on to look that natural? I always
Exactly.
say
It's
that.
layers. It's layers. So when you
So I have
try
a question. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. I don't
Yes.
want to stop you. I'm fascinated about this tape business. I'm fascinated
Mm-hmm.
about this tape. So when you put this tape on, you put the makeup over it. So where do you buy
Mm-hmm. And you
this
pull
tape?
the tape back. You pull it back.
So
You pull the
where-
tape back. They have it in, name stores or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
They
buy
can-
this tape in the store?
Well, they sell it too in
Yeah.
Ulta stores and
like cosmetic
but you
stores,
could use regular tape.
or
I mean,
stores for studio makeup or theater stores, and you could use
use
regular tape if you wanted to.
and you put it back behind ears,
Yeah.
behind places where
put
you
your
can't
hair
see.
over it, and then when you color it in because it's clear, nobody can really tell. Or if you're trying to learn how to make a wing liner, let's say, and you're not good at it, we'll tell people, get a piece of Scotch tape, put it there, and draw. This way, if you mess up or you overdraw, you're just
You're just
taking the
ripping the
tape,
tape
off and
off.
it's clean.
Oh,
So you've just
my
now made the
God.
perfect line.
It's like painting the wall.
Exactly.
Putting up the,
Exactly.
And putting up the
Painter's
mat.
tape. Exactly.
Yeah, the painter's tape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's so much that goes into it, and I just think that, again, I'm so happy that we are coming to the age of people enjoying their real bodies. You know,
But I think me and you have always
We've
tried
always
to
been that way.
always make people feel beautiful,
Well,
and that's part of the
lines
reason
that
I
we
love doing
worked
makeup.
for, the lines that we both met each other working for were two lines that wanted women to express their natural beauties, their natural inner
Yes.
beauty, and not so much cover, contour, and make yourself look completely different.
Right.
And I think that we gravitated a lot toward that because, you know, when you're working with someone every day that you meet, your neighbor, a nurse,
Yes.
or she wants to look great, but she's like, I can't wear all of that stuff. I can't do all this with the nails, but I want to look good when I leave my house.
And at the end of the day, I really wanted to do makeup to make people feel beautiful, not to make them insecure.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, right? So I just thought it was fascinating. I got my makeup done when I was 18 years old, and I found it fascinating. I felt beautiful. People around me were happy, and I wanted to make people feel that.
And I think that's the biggest misconception when people also walk into a cosmetics department. They see these women dressed beautifully with these beautiful faces,
That's
and they're
right.
almost afraid
That's
to come
right.
and ask
Yes.
you for help
Yes.
because they've come from the gym or dropping off kids at you know, and they look a certain way, and we're just like, we're here to help. Like,
Right.
we have no
No
problem. No judgment. No judgment. Exactly. No judgment at all. I want you to feel, I feel good this way because I've been doing this for years and this is what I love. But
Yes.
I can also help you achieve what you want to achieve, but you don't need to look like me.
Exactly.
And that's what people like to do. Make me look like, you know,
Yes.
Gladys Knight.
Yes.
Can you do that? Can you make me? I want to come out
Well,
of here
I don't
looking
have to
like
do
Gladys
anything,
Knight.
and people always think my mother's Gladys
Yeah, people
Knight.
No,
thought
I
I was
know.
Gladys Knight. I wish. I once went to. I guess we were in Vegas, and people thought I was Gladys Knight, and the waiter came over to ask for my autograph.
You should have gave it. You should have gave it.
And I'm going, no, I'm not Gladys
She
Knight.
didn't
And
have
she's
to. I was
kicking
like,
me
she's-
under the table.
I'm like, she's really not
telling
doing
me-
anything right now. She's trying to enjoy dinner.
Oh my
We'll take the
God.
bottle of wine.
Take the bottle of wine.
But when I went to walk out, we were leaving, he must, and I said to him, say nothing. He must have told people at other tables because they started to stop me and ask me for my autograph. I said, I am not who you think I am.
It was fantastic.
Okay, but that day
Loved it.
we got dinner for free.
Yeah.
Okay, everything
nice.
was comp
That's nice.
because they thought I was somebody else.
And the more she said no, the more,
more they
stuff
thought.
did.
Yeah, people just thought you were like trying to hide.
Right.
You know, because I've run up on celebrities and caught them, and they would be shocked that you identified them. Okay, and they go, "Oh, yeah, hi," and they would tell you, "Okay, I gotta go," and they want to move fast.
Right.
I used to think they were being. What do I want to use? Her word I want to use.
Rude?
Not just rude, but thought they were just so great that they didn't have to talk
good of
to you.
themselves.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. And then I realized, no, that's not it. If they stop and talk to one person,
It's going to start.
yeah. But I love people who cut pictures out of magazines and take it to the beautician or the cosmopolitan, the cosmetic
But you kind
counter.
of have to, because if you came to me and said you wanted a natural look,
I
I
know what
have
you're
an
saying.
idea of what natural is, and yours could be something completely different.
Exactly.
So we have to get on the same page. So sometimes pictures are encouraged,
They
and
are
then we can work from there. Because what I think is natural, or if what you thought was natural and what you wanted isn't what you wanted at all.
So when I come back and say, I don't even look like this picture.
Yeah.
Look what you did to me. This doesn't look like that.
Well, we used to say, well, you're not Beyonce.
Or I'm not a
I'm
surgeon.
so sorry, I'm not a surgeon.
Okay.
Well, you get unrealistic things.
Yep.
But you don't want to, we're not into hurting anyone's feelings, but there are some things that the gods couldn't pull off.
You just nicely say,
Yes.
you know.
We got as close to that as we could. And we
Right.
focused on, see the eyeshadow color that you wanted? This is the color.
And we focused on your beautiful cheekbones
Yes.
instead of your.
So in the mall, services are free.
No.
In a no?
No, let's
Oh
cut
dear.
One of the biggest misconceptions is people think they can come in and get a makeover, and they're like, "Great, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go online."
that's what I thought.
When we were working there, because we no longer work at the mall, but when we were working there, it was very much of I'm doing all this work because I am expecting you to buy product.
It's a free service.
Oh, that
for you to
comes with the
purchase.
product.
Right.
Okay.
Because
We're here to teach you, for you to learn
Right.
with your new products.
Okay.
Because let's
so
be
now I
honest,
know.
we're in the world of a commissioned environment. We try not to say that to get
Okay.
anybody upset, so that's why we do the best job that we can. But let's not forget, it's still sales.
And service.
Okay, I have learned a lot while they give me the eye when I ask for my makeup to be done. Okay, I'm learning. I know now what to say, what not to say. But ladies, I can't believe we're already out of time. And this was really great. I've learned so much on things to do and not to do. And I'm going to go looking for that tape. But I want to thank our guests. I want to thank our viewers for joining us. And I want to give special thanks to the PCTV crew today. And I want to tell the audience and participants and viewers, if you have a topic or you wish to participate as a guest, send me an email to colesj7@gmail.com or give me a call at 1-848-264-6735. You know what I'm doing next month, ladies?
What's that?
Teachers. Then and now. So remember, women talk about everything and anything, anytime and anywhere.